Welcome to the How Did Show, where interesting people answer the questions, how did I get here? And how in the hell did I get here? With your host, Donovan Corneets.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another amazing episode of the How Did Show. And we got a really special one for you today because my guest, well, you know what? We're going to get into that, but let me just intro this gentleman now. My guest is a director, producer, writer, and editor who began his filmmaking journey at just 10 years old. Now, since graduating from film school, he has honed his craft and toured around the country and even the world, showcasing his numerous award-winning projects. Now, the trailer Coronaman went viral during the pandemic, thrusting him even further upward. So y'all show some love for my dog, Bobby Huntley. What's going on?
Pure.
There you go.
Great introduction. Thank you so much for that.
I appreciate that, man. Thank you for being on the show, man. How are you feeling?
I am actually great. Yeah.
That's awesome, man. Good to be great.
Yeah.
Love it. Yeah, I'm doing great too. And I'm just honored to have you on, man. So we're gonna get right into this thing. So this is, as you know, the How Did Show. So that means we're going to answer a couple of questions. Now, the first question is, how did I get here? So, Bobby, how would you answer the question, how did I get here?
I got here basically the strong urge and desire to be seen and heard because, you know, as a youth, I never really felt either of those things, you know what I'm saying? And it took a while for me to realize that, you know, when I had a camera in my hand, you know, I was seen and heard, and also, you know, people would do what I told them to do.
There you go. Let's go ahead and let it all be known. Yeah, people do what you say when you got a camera.
Yeah. So that's pretty much what started my journey for me, you know? Yeah.
So what made it, like, what made that be the outlet for you? Like, how did you get introduced to filmmaking or being behind the camera?
You know, I was just always doing something creative, drawing, singing, dancing, painting, all types of crap. And then, you know, with film, of course, you realize that it encompasses all mediums of art. And, you know, you just challenge yourself to, maybe you see something on TV and, you know, you just get you and your cousins, you try to recreate it or do little music videos or all these different things. And this, you know, finally, okay, my family's seeing me. They're actually actively like, oh, Bobby, what you shoot this weekend? Like, and they're all sitting around the TV. All my cousins, you know, they was sports stars bringing home trophies and all this shit. And I didn't have nothing.
I feel you on that, man. I feel you. So that gave you, I guess, a little bit of power, right? I guess power behind the lens.
Just a little bit.
Okay. Yeah, no, I can dig it. So at what point did you realize, like, you know what, I got something here beyond like family acknowledging what you got going on? But when was there the first hint of like, you know what, I think I might be able to do this, like for real, do this?
Well, it took a long time. Like, even though my teachers were kind of supportive, I remember bringing my short films to class with my family and it was like crickets. You know, I was like, oh shit, the shit that's funny to me and my family ain't funny to y'all. What's wrong with y'all?
Exactly.
So I learned the very painful lesson that, you know, comedy is very difficult. And, you know, you really have to pay attention to a lot of things and stuff like that. So it took some years of honing that skill and that craft to find out what's different to all different kinds of people that might not have your same frame of references.
Right.
And my mom actually forced me my senior year in high school to take a video production class. Because I was like, I've been doing this. What do I need to take a class for? You know?
Right.
You know, moms be knowing. And that's when I found out, like, oh, snap, you can go to school for this. Oh, you can actually do this for real as a profession, as a career. And that pretty much set everything up from there with me going to film school and beyond. Yeah.
That's dope. Yeah, because moms do be knowing.
They do. And I was fighting her on it. Like, I thought I was just going to coast my senior year. Like, I'm just going to take this bum class. I could just like chill and dip out. I was cool with the teachers. He let me leave whenever. Just like, no, you're taking this class. I was like, fine.
And then you got in there and blew your mind. Like, oh,
100%. Yeah. Changed my life. Thanks, Mom.
Hey, thanks, Mom. Because my mom kind of got me into doing things in entertainment. Because I was a science nerd, man. I wanted to be a chiropractor, a scientist. And
why a chiropractor? That's very specific.
I wanted to be a doctor, didn't want to deal with blood. And plus, when I was, not to get too much into me, but when I was, I don't know, somewhere around 10 to 12 years old, somewhere in there, I had a pretty serious bike injury and hurt my back. And so my mom, and I mean, I actually like had trouble walking. And my mom was like trying to figure out what she could do. So she took me to a chiropractor. And after a series of treatments, I was better. And so I was like, that was cool. And no blood, no scalpels. Let me look into this. And so, yeah, I ended up going into like internships with chiropractors and learning how to develop x-rays and nonsense like that. So, but
that's cool.
Funny enough, she was disappointed when I didn't go to being a doctor, but she was kind of the one that planted the seed of entertainment in me. So it's funny, like all these years later, you know, after doing elementary school or high school plays and stuff, that I was like, I mean, this is cool, this is fun, but yeah, I mean, I ain't gonna do this for no job. Acting for job, like whatever. And I didn't even know what voiceover was. So to like come full circle later in life was kind of like, wow, I guess mom kind of had a little something, like a little hint of what was to come, even if she was like, so I don't get a doctor in the family, huh? Like, at this time, mom. And I'm the baby. So like, that was your last shot, baby. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm the baby too. Oh yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
So like, obviously film has been huge for you since childhood. Mm-hmm. Could you think like, if you hadn't discovered film or if you didn't take that class, what could you see yourself doing or being now?
I literally have no idea.
That's real.
No idea. And it was crazy about this. It's like I've fantasized about what it would be like to be a normal person with a normal 9 to 5. I have dreams about that normal sometimes. Like, but I don't really
know what you're saying.
I'm doing.
Yeah, like the 9 to 5 and
like just the day-to-day consistency of life. Like, oh, okay, I know I go into this time and I go and I'm, you know, I actually fantasize about that, which is insane to me because, you know, people on that side fantasize about
the other way. Yeah.
Like, but, you know, yeah, I can't really picture what else I'd be doing. Possibly teaching, I feel.
Okay.
Yeah.
I feel you on that, man. Every day is completely different. I never know what to expect day to day. Even stuff that's scheduled, things can change any given day when you're like a freelancer for a living or in entertainment, working for yourself, all of those things. So yeah, I feel you on that. I do not fantasize about it because I got to live that life until my about 30. Yeah, all through my 20s until I got to about 30. Well, no, early 20s. And so it's like, you know, through that time, I experienced that. I did the retail jobs and IT tech support and third shift jobs and all that stuff. So yeah, I don't fantasize about it. I'm good on that. You ain't missing nothing, bro.
Yeah.
No, not that there's anything wrong with that, but I'm just saying for the creative mind, it could be something, man, to like be stuck in something where you can't be creative.
For sure. Yeah.
Well, so with all the projects that you've been able to kind of create, I know you've gotten funding through different ways and donations and your own money and all this stuff. But someone says, look, unlimited budget, blank check. What kind of project would you make? Like what kind of movie would you make? You got a blank check.
My magnum opus. Essentially, you know, I love music and it's a part of pretty much every project that I do, essentially.
Right.
At least have a song that I wrote or produced or something in there or something. But definitely I feel like I would do because okay, so I did the let me hold that up, sorry. I did the proof of concept trailer for the New Edition story. And that went viral, went very well. And BET used that as like the means to get the New Edition story told. So
wow, I had no idea. Side note, I was the promo voice for New Edition story on BET.
Yeah. So
the New Edition story on BET. So
yeah,
go ahead.
done deal. So I didn't get a chance to be part of that project for, you know, whatever reason. But I still have built up deep inside of me. A story that I would love to tell of a fictional group that I feel that I could bring my grit and my storytelling skills to on a much larger level. So that's kind of like been my secret thing in my arsenal. Like, yeah, once I've done a few projects and built up to a certain level, especially of a financial budgetary level, that's going to be the project that I definitely would want to do, my fictional boy band story. I'm gonna kick some ass too.
Hey, look, man, I believe it. And now I'm thinking, because you kind of have a reputation for like thriller, kind of darker stuff, like kind of like a thriller element to a boy band. I'm just saying.
Yeah, no, because definitely
putting that out there. Don't give anything away.
But no, just the music industry enough, because what I really want to do is just dig into the dark underbelly world of that.
Yeah, man.
So that element will definitely come into play. So look out for that. It's going to be coming.
I love it. I love it, man. I wish I had that blank check to give you, bro. Because I would love to see that, man. All right. So I think it's really cool that you had like the vision, I guess, or at least the exposure to what you were going to end up doing at such a young age. Like that, not a lot of people get the benefit, or I guess the access for that, to even get exposed to something that young and say like, yep, 10 years old, this is what I want to do. I love it, to the point where you can say like, yeah, I have no idea what else I can see. So that's really cool, man. And I think it takes a lot of hard work. I don't know if people realize how much hard work it goes into, especially with all the rejection, like how many no's, like something you feel very strongly about, and they're like, nah, this ain't gonna work. Next, like, damn, it's ripped my heart out. So like, how have you been able to deal with rejection or people telling you your ideas, not really feeling it, not that great, but still have the confidence to be like, that's okay, I'm gonna get this done and it's gonna be amazing?
Well, fortunately, my track record has shown that I've always been kind of like one step ahead.
Flex on them. You heard it. I love it.
I mean, but
hey, I ain't mad at you.
You know what I'm saying? But sometimes it's a situation of, if you're chosen or selected by the powers that be or the industry to give you that opportunity, sometimes that might not always be the case. But fortunately, we're of the time, the era, and of the technology that we do not have to wait nor beg for admission or the opportunity or all these things. Like, we can literally create and build our own empires ourselves. So the fact that we're in this time and space right now means that we are doing exactly what we need to do and what we're supposed to do, and not idly sitting down and waiting for a phone to ring or an email to be sent giving you the green light to do anything. That's what I'm in love with the most right now. That's what keeps me.
That's what I'm talking about. See, and I feel like somebody watching this that might be on the fence, I'm like, should I go for it? Should I not? Like, go for it. This is the best time to put out content, I think.
And even how I get my things funded is I use FOMO, and I apply a lot of pressure, because I'm like, you don't want to miss out on what I'm doing. And if you miss out, you're going to feel really terrible about yourself. So like, yo, I need these funds and I need you to give them to me. Like, I need you to make the correct decision about this. You know what I'm saying? Like, I have to come at it like that, because of course, otherwise, who likes begging for money?
Right. No, I understand.
Like, filmmaking is basically politics. You're a politician. Politicians beg for money all the time. So it's
much,
different. So you have to have that gangster. You have to know how to apply that pressure. Like, hey, I'm a young Black man telling the story, or I'm a young Black woman, or I'm a young whatever, or I'm an old whatever. Like, I need to be the one to tell this story, and I need to be the one to tell this story now. Are you going to be on the right side of history or not?
So does that mean, because I know I contributed to you being able to go to that film festival in Europe. So like, did you get me with that? Did you play like a Jedi mind trick on me to have me donate?
Possibly. Anything is possible, but thank you so much. I appreciate it. Yeah,
dang. Got me. Okay. No, I was happy to do it. I was happy to be able to help. But anyway, that's incredible, man. I love that. And like I said, I really feel like people can take that gem and be inspired by it and really pursue what it is they feel strongly about.
The bottom line is, supporting of the arts is so important, and it is like the life source for all of us, no matter what you do. Doctors, all of them. Sidebar, I hit up a lot of doctors, dentists. They love to write a check because they're low-key artists themselves.
Right.
So Look up doctors and dentists and psychiatrists too. But like, yeah, art is so
Love
important,
it.
and you are creating art, and you need to be supported. So get it.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Get that money
Yeah.
and help my guy out, man. He got projects going on. Help my guy out.
Amen.
But look, we're gonna move on to the next section of this show, which means we're about to spin
The wheel of what?
So we're gonna bring this bad boy out. I can get it. All right, here we go. So
Oh,
now
man.
we're gonna spin this thing, and whatever it lands on, you gotta answer. All right,
All right.
let's do this. Wake up. All right. So wake up means you're gonna wake up anywhere in the world at any time in history. Where would you pick? When would you pick? And why?
I would want to wake up as a club kid in the early 90s in New York City.
Wow. Okay.
I don't know why I'm infatuated with that time, but the early 90s seems really cool in the dark grittiness of New York and going out at night in the clubs and just it seems like
man.
time, man. So I don't know. That's the first thing that came to my mind. I don't know. I usually
So you're going to be in New York, early 90s, hitting the club up.
Yeah. Back
So
when
you know
people
what?
danced.
Look, man, I'm gonna be honest with you. So I in the 90s, so like I was, yeah, I would say like between 95 even to 2000, 2001, somewhere around there. Like I was still a teenager. I turned, I was born in 79. So like the 90s was like my childhood to
I thought
becoming
we
an
were
adult.
like the same age. You are aging gracefully.
Well, thank you. Yeah, man, 42.
Oh.
But yeah, like so I believe me, I understand, man. Like going to the club in the later 90s, because I was like 10 in 1990, but like later 18, 19, oh man, like you got in the club and it was just like they would put a club anywhere, bro. Like it'd be like the skating rink, and then they're like, all right, skaters off. And then it just was like a dance off. There was like dance contests. People had like memorized dance routines. Oh, I loved it, man. I was all in that because I had.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I think by the time my generation came around, it was on the
just
way
standing
out.
around. Yeah, just kind of like standing around, like
yeah,
1-2 step. But yeah, man, that's actually really interesting. I would have never expected that answer because,
and I think part of it is because the movies made it look so fun.
Yeah, and I mean, I was in New York at that time. I'm originally a New Yorker, so I actually got to live kind of the part of the club scene, at least towards the later 90s. But that's really interesting because I didn't think about it, but yeah, it was really dope, man. Obviously, there was dark stuff at some places going on, but it was fun. And you danced until you were sweaty and like soaking wet. Then you go like walk out to your car and you sit back and like the back of your shirt is freezing cold because it's all wet. You had to bring like a change of a shirt. Yeah, man. We used to get it in, especially in New York, man. Like the clubs, you get out at like 4 a.m, 5 a.m.
I even heard of people like getting like sliced up on the dance floor, but they don't even realize it. Like somebody trying to steal something off of them. Until they got home, like, oh shit, I got a tear.
Thankfully, that never happened to me. I was never a victim of assault and larceny and robbery in the club. I was able to just do my thing. But yeah, there was some shady stuff that would go on sometimes, and I won't get too much into the detail, but you can get away with some nasty stuff. You can have a good time on dance floors. That's all I'm gonna say on that.
Noted.
But so yeah, I think you would have a good time. I'm just saying. I think that's a really dope choice. Kudos to you. That's completely.
Thanks. It was very random. I don't know where it came from, but it was real.
Nah, I love it, man. So moving on from that, we're gonna get to the second half of the show, and this is where you answer the question: how in the hell did I get here? So this is a story about something that occurred, an event, something that you were a part of, something that happened to you that made you be like, Bobby, oh snap, how in the hell did I get here? So what would your story be?
Okay, so this also ties into my brand new film, which is entitled What Had Happened Was.
Love it.
Yeah, the Herbert and Cleophas story. So Uh, spring of 2010, I just graduated film school. Me and my homeboy named Chris, we was always doing dumb stuff with our camera, skits and shorts or whatever. We just like, let's do a little skit, like a throwback period piece movie, something or another. So we got some old clothes and we did it, and people liked it, and we started adding more to it, adding more actors to it, bigger sets, cars, clubs, clothes, hair, makeup, the whole nine.
Right.
Pretty much no money, no budget. Long story short, it took us about 2 years to do. And then I never put the movie out. For a multitude of reasons. The main one was more so like anxiety and just me being in over my head and not really knowing how to ask for help or even ask the right people for help, mind you.
Right.
And it got to a place where I was the subject for a lot of anger and ridicule and pain from a lot of people who were disappointed that
that you didn't put it out.
Yeah, that I didn't put the movie out.
Yeah.
And that was a tough spot to be in. Like once I realized I was that guy, because I didn't really know, because I'm in the trenches, like working, trying to finish this thing and try to piece everything together and just freaking out in my own hell. Like, damn,
Yeah.
So, 2 years go by, 3 years go by, 4 years go by, and it's like, it's too late. I missed the window.
Right.
Start working on other things. But that was like really tough to see and hear, and then finding out throughout the course of, because the movie is a documentary about the movie. So we brought everybody back together 10 years later. We got our red table / masterclass action going.
Right.
And to find out that a lot of people quit acting because they didn't really see a return on their investment in terms of seeing their hard work.
Seeing their work.
Yeah, I did not know that. Thank God I didn't know that, because that probably would have drove me absolutely crazy. But
right.
To find out that I was a villain in the story that I was working so hard to build everybody up.
Yeah. Wow, that's tough.
Yeah, it was a tough one. So, but finally, thank God I was able to bring everybody back together, tell the story about the film. And we just had a premiere in Atlanta at the Atlantic Station, and that gave everybody a sense of closure. Because not only did they get a chance to see themselves on the big screen, with clips of the film and showing that story, but the story behind the scenes of what happened to everybody as well. So
that's great, man.
We can finally breathe now.
Yeah. So you're like, how in the hell did I become this villain? I was trying to help.
I was legit a villain to these people, and I had no idea.
Yeah, man, that's tough. Yeah, like I could see if you were setting out to be like, yeah, man, forget them. I ain't putting this out, but just like, I just thought I was trying to help. Next thing I know, I got people like really upset with me over this. So yeah, I can see how that would be tough, man. So like, what has that been like? What's the reception been like from the release?
A lot of thug tears. Yeah, and it's you have to be very careful how you think about it, how you process things like that, because you could easily go down the spiral. Like, man, if I knew now if I known then what I know now, I could have done X, Y, Z, and and then you start like feeling that weight on yourself and putting even more weight on you. It was like, no, things happen exactly the way they were supposed to happen.
Right.
No, when things come to pass, that's how it's supposed to, come to pass. So you just have to make your peace with it, and make your peace with everybody, and just be able to accept the moment for what it is, and give it to them as a gift, and they receive it as a gift, and they were surrounded by their loved ones. Our families was out, and it was just a beautiful full circle moment. Now I'm really proud I was able to pull off. I almost didn't do it because it's really tough to sit in a dark editing room for hours and hours and days and weeks and weeks, hearing the worst things people think about you.
Wow. So that's part of it, of like people kind of airing their grievances.
Yo,
wow.
I got my ass kicked.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's tough, man.
Yeah, it was very difficult. And even now, there's some parts of the documentary that I can't like watch.
Wow, man. That's wild, man.
But it's designed to be cathartic. therapeutic and freeing for anybody, even if you're not a filmmaker or you're creative or any person that had a dream or tried to put something together. Somehow things didn't go the way it was supposed to. Things fell apart. Like, I really want to tap into that thing inside everybody that truly asks the questions of like, what happens when a dream is deferred? You know what I'm saying?
No, that's powerful,
we all
man.
have those stories.
Absolutely, bro. I think we all do. And the fact that you're able to have an outlet for that is really powerful. And that's really amazing, because a lot of people just have to like eat that, and it never becomes anything. So you actually were able to create something out of the chaos. Do you feel like that's, or obviously I feel like you have had to, what did it teach you about yourself? What can you what lesson did you get from it to move forward with future projects going through what you went through? And
that's the crazy thing about it, because I remember beating myself up a lot while working on this. And I'm like, you were only like 21, 22, if that.
Right.
Like, and I had my moment where like I had to leave Atlanta for a year. And that's part of the disappearance. So like Bobby disappeared and it was a lot going on. But so I like had to like lick my wounds a little bit. And I went back to film school, and I was like, I'm determined to not leave a project hanging. So much to the point where I somehow became homeless around the midterms or something like that. And I could have packed up and went home, but like I already started the process of doing a short film for my class. So I had to stay. I forced myself to stay to complete the film in homelessness. I was sleeping in schools and in cars and couch surfing and all this stuff. Like, I have to see that I can complete something, execute it, and put it out before I can go back home.
That's incredible, man.
And then when I came back home, that's when I did the New Edition and all those other things. Those were my first projects to kind of reintroduce and rebuild my name. I had to do everything again from scratch.
That's incredible. That's something else I didn't know, man. And that's really something. It's amazing how many people in the creative field have a story of being almost or being homeless at some point in their life. Man. And while they were working on a dream or deferred from a dream, things fell apart for them and they ended up on couches or in cars or whatever. That's actually been a recurring theme. And it's really, really powerful to see what you've made from that. Yeah. So kudos to you, man. Round of applause, brother. Congrats on everything, man. So look, I'm so glad that I was able to kind of talk to you about that, because I don't know if a whole lot of people might not know that about you. And even if they do, I don't know if they understand like the scope of what it meant to everything else that you've done since then. So thank you so much for sharing that. So what do you have going on now, other than obviously you have that out? What had happened was, which of course now knowing the backstory, the title makes a lot more sense. That's dope.
Yeah, because for years everybody was like, what happened to that? What happened to that? What happened to that? And I was like, oh, here it is. Here's what happened.
There you go. No, that's incredible, man. I love it. So other than that, what else you got going on? Where can people find your work, and where can people find you on social media?
Got you. Well, B Huntley Films on social media. Bobby Huntley Films, my website. I'm still touring a lot of my films. We'll be touring What Had Happened Was all over the country this summer. So if you want to see it, we're definitely going to be coming to a city near you. And then, of course, we'll get that out through distribution later this year. You know, the talks have already started. Same with my other films, too. I have one film out called La Vie Magnifique de Charlie, the Charlie movie that's on Tubi. Oh, yeah, you know, I'm fancy. I like long titles. That's what I do. That's what I'm known for, you know.
Okay.
The movie that What Had Happened Was is called Herbert and Cleophas and the Unfortunate Chronicles of the Kidnapping of Miss Ella Finn. So that's just how I roll, you know.
Okay. Dig it.
But yeah, just touring my films and stuff. So yeah, like I said, when I'm in the city, come out and check it out. And I would love to meet everybody and, you know, talk to everybody. And you know, yeah. And Charlie, like I said, is on Tubi, Amazon, YouTube, all those platforms. So yeah, you can check that out now.
Definitely check it out. Well, Bobby, man, thank you so much for taking the time to be on the show, man. Hope you had a good time. I had a good time chatting with you, man. And actually, you know, learning a lot about you and about the process and getting inspired, bro. So thank you so much for sharing. And everybody out there, thank you so much for watching another great episode of The How Did Show. And we'll see you next time around. Peace.
Thank you so much. God bless you.
What's going on, everybody? Thank you so much for joining me and having some fun as we interview some really interesting people. So go ahead, like, comment, subscribe, and be on the lookout for more episodes of The How Did Show.